Good evening. Here's the world news from our studio BGI TV, Baba, Bagidi Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Morire Rabila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Our policemen invited to settle disputes and hang 7-year-old Lagos mechanic. Timothy Adegoke disregards CCTV rumor. Adedoyin's lawyer urges public. Don't honor DSS's invitation. They want to license you. Shokapu warns Bishop Hooker. We will make Plateau hot for kidnappers. Ritualist orders, says Lalong. Father-daughter arrested with fresh human remains in Oshun. Save us from bandits. Ibeju Lekki residents cry out. NLC mobilizes for protesters against hike in petrol price. And to foreign, UK government advises and advisors recommended against fourth vaccine dose. And to sports, Eagles eye on Afcon title Omakali. The news in details. Family of late Promise Oputua, aka Daddy, narrates how the 17-year-old mechanic was shot by a police officer who had come to settle a dispute in the Federal Local Council Development Area of Lagos State. The elder sister of the victim, Agnes, said Promise had died while being rushed to the General Hospital for further treatment. One of the lawyers representing the owner of Hilton Hotel, Ile-Ife, Dr. Rahman Adegoke Adedoyin, has urged members of the public to disregard the latest false alarm by an Ibadan-based blogger, Oriyomi Amzat, that he had gained access to a CCTV footage showing how Timothy Adegoke, the OAU master degree student, was allegedly murdered at Hilton Hotel. The lawyer, Mr. Abiodun Williams, who warned the blogger against misleading members of the public, described Mr. Amzat's story as another lie from the pit of hell by a self-styled human rights advocate who has been inciting the public against Dr. Rahman Adedoyin, the proprietor of Hilton Hotel. Mr. Williams, in a statement made available to Vanguard on Sunday, said that the police has not released any official statement on the outcome of the investigation so far, adding that Dr. Adedoyin was not in the hotel at the time of the incident and could not have been seen on any CCTV footage. The statement reads, "We are aware that Mr. Amzat has spread so many wicked and ugly contradictory tales against Dr. Adedoyin and his family since the unfortunate death of Mr. Adegoke. We urge the public not to believe any of the lies, but allow the police to conclude their investigations to unravel the cause of Mr. Adegoke's death and bring the culprits to justice. We can only advise Mr. Amzat and anyone with reliable information to contact the police and share such information with them and help speed up investigations to ensure justice for the late students and those presently in police custody over the matter." The lawyer also called on the police to invite Mr. Amzat to assist in their investigations since he claims to know so much about the unfortunate death of Mr. Adegoke. The lawyer, however, noted that Mr. Amzat Oriyomi has no right to be peddling the ongoing wicked rumor that could not be established anywhere against Chief Rahman Adedoyin with a view to crucifying him in the eyes of the public, stressing that it's only a properly constituted court that can do same. Recall that Mr. Amzat had in his recent viral post claimed to have gained access to CCTV footage showing how Adegoke was murdered allegedly by Dr. Adedoyin and his staff. The Southern Kaduna People's Union, SOKAPU, has on Monday advised Bishop Matthew Kuka not to honor any invitation by the Department of State Services, DSS, over his latest Christmas message. Kuka had lambasted President Muhammadu Buhari over the widespread insecurity bedeviling the country. They observed that notable Nigerians who were invited by DSS in a similar way were being silenced. Isaac Jones Sajay, National Youth Leader of Shokapu, in a statement on Monday while reacting to the invitation, described it as a plot to silence him over his comments in recent times. Following these, Shokapu youths advised Kuka not to honor the purported invitation, saying that some Nigerians are falling victim to such invitation. The group mentions former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Dr. Obademe Lafia, as a victim of DSS invitation. It observed how the operations in recent times extended invitations to some people who had at one time or the other accepted invitations, particularly persons considered to be critical of the nepotistic and clandestine leadership style of Buhari administration. We mourn the sudden demise of Dr. Obade Melafia of blessed memory, who until his death was a dogged critic of this administration and a regular visitor at one of the DSS facilities, the statement said. According to the statement, without ruling out any possibility of harm, it considered the invitation of Bishop Kuka by the DSS a ploy designed to silence him at all costs. It advised Kuka to ignore such invitation by the DSS for the obvious reasons of threats to life and personal safety. Following recent cases of ritual killings suspected to be carried out by Yahoo boys as well as kidnappings and other criminal activities, Plateau State Governor Simon Bako Lalong has vowed to make the state uninhabitable for criminals. Lalong spoke at an international church service to mark this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day, an emblem appeal launch held at St. Finbar's Catholic Church, Rayfield, Lagos. Lalong expressed outrage over the recent cases of ritual killings in Jos as well as kidnappings, which have become a source of concern to the government and citizens. He said, "I'm deeply saddened by the activities of criminals who are trying to disrupt the peace of our state. Of much concern are the recent cases of killings which are suspected to be carried out by Yahoo boys that security reports indicate are migrating to Plateau." The parish priest of St. Finbar's Catholic Church, Rayfield, and chaplain, Government House Chapel, Reverend Father Godfrey Gobek, said, while Nigerians are celebrating the sacrifices of its fallen heroes, there is a need for them to give greater honor to the deceased by living in peace with one another in order to prevent other standing heroes from falling. He said peace building cannot be possible without justice, forgiveness, tolerance, and unity. The operatives of Oshun, Western Nigerian Security Network codenamed Amotekun, have arrested a 35-year-old father, Ganiu Wasir, and a 21-year-old daughter, Muizat Wasir, with fresh human remains. The nation gathered that the suspects were arrested at the Okefia area of Igege town in Olaoluwa local government area, where they were conveying the mutilated remains in a Ghana must go bag. However, Ganiu, who was prevented from being lynched by an angry mob, claimed that it was set up by her daughter's husband. When the field commandant of Amatekun, Comrade Amitolu Shitu, was contacted, it disclosed that his men made more arrests aside from the two initial suspects. He said 7 more suspects were arrested in Iwo town in connection with the remains. The identity of the core is yet to be known. We arrested Lawal Ibrahim, 25, Adiato Rufus, 19, Fatola Nigi, 45, Eniola Akim, 42, Chief Amuso, 64, Alaba Oyeniro, 31, and Oyokola Ibrahim, 20. Amitolu noted that all the suspects have been handed over to the Department of State Services DSS for further investigation. The Olowu Ogunkalu family of Oreki village in the Ibeju Lekki area of Lagos State has called on Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to intervene and stop the activities of some suspicious individuals using their land as a training camp for bandits and terrorists. The family spokesperson, who is also Baale of Oreki, Chief Waliu Olowu, alleged that policemen were heading those unlawful activities, especially as they were also feigning to be land grabbers. He pleaded with the governor to intervene and stop the infringement of their rights by unscrupulous elements. He said they are perceived as mere land grabbers, but what they do is to conspire with some policemen in uniform to run a training camp for terrorists. We call on the Inspector General of Police and other security agencies, Lagos State Governor, as well as the Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of Lagos to intervene and stop them now. Olowu also accused a businessman of colluding with a Hong Kong national to sell the government's exercise land to unsuspecting people. According to him, the foreigner has successfully built a land-grabbing cartel turned breeding ground for bandits, while they are also involved in some other illegal activities. According to the family head, These men have been using bandits and police officers to perpetrate evil in Ibeju, Lekki, and its environs. This, he said, unsettles the previously serene communities, threatens their existence, debars justice, and may likely have a spillover effect in other parts of the states. Now to some national thoughts and story concerning protest. The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has begun mass mobilization of civil society organizations (CSOs) ahead of its planned January 27th and February 1st nationwide protest against the proposed removal of petrol subsidy by the federal government. The nation gathered that meetings between the Congress and the leaders of the CSOs are expected to hold tomorrow in Abuja and Friday in Lagos. The parties, according to a letter by NLC President Ayuba Wawa and General Secretary Emmanuel Ugwaja, will be attended by members of the Central Working Committee (CWC) of the Congress and the affiliate unions leadership. The letter by Wawa reads, "Comrade, you may recall that at the regular meetings of the National Executive Council (NEC) of the Nigeria Labour Congress, which took place on 17 December 2021 at the Oyeride Olaito Auditorium, Pascal Bayfield Labour House, the NEC decided, among other things, to mobilize Nigerian workers and people for a nationwide protest on 27th of January 2022, particularly in all the state capitals of the Federation. There will also be a national protest on the 1st of February 2022 in the Federal Capital Territory (FCT). After that, now to foreign story. UK government advisors are recommended against giving a fourth dose of COVID-19 vaccine to nursing home residents and people over 80 because data shows that a third shot offers lasting protection against admission to the hospital. For people over 65, protection against hospitalization remains at about 90% 3 months after the third dose, according to data compiled by the UK Health Security Agency. As a result, the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunization on Friday advised the government that there was no need to offer a fourth dose or second booster to vulnerable people at this time. Instead, the government should focus on giving a third dose to as many people as possible to boost protection against the highly transmissible Omicron variant. The current data show the booster dose is continuing to provide high levels of protection against severe disease, even for the most vulnerable older age groups, said Professor Wells Shane Lim, the committee's chair. For this reason, the committee has concluded there is no immediate need to introduce a second booster dose, though this will continue to be reviewed. The UK is racing to offer booster shots to adults across the country after research showed that those 2 doses were not enough to protect people from Omicron. The variant has fueled a surge in coronavirus infections and hospitalizations. And lastly, to sports story. Super Eagles midfielder Kelechi Nwakali says due to the high demand from Nigerians, the team are at the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon to make a strong statement. Nigeria began their Afcon campaign against 7-time champions Egypt at the State Armed Sports Runde Ajia on Tuesday. The Eagles last won the prestigious trophy in 2013, when a solitary Sunday Umba goal helped Stephen Keshi side lift the trophy for the third time in history after Ele won it in 1980 and 1994. Speaking ahead of the opening game against the Pharaohs, Nwakali, who is there to earn his first senior cap, admitted there was pressure playing for the Eagles. "We are from a country where everyone believes that because we are Nigeria, we are supposed to win every competition we enter for. But mind you, every team that comes to this tournament also have the mindset of winning. As a team, we are here to make a statement. We are here to write history, make our country and family proud, as well as make ourselves proud," he said in an interview with the NFF media. "It's all about representing Nigeria in the best way we can. If it happens that we win the competition, fine. But the most important thing is to represent Nigeria in flying colors. Winning is what is in the mind of every player here. That is the first goal. It is football. We can't predict what will happen, but we will work as a team to achieve one goal, which is winning the competition." That was the world news from BGI TV. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines once again. Our policemen invited to settle dispute killed 17-year-old Lagos mechanic. Timothy Adegoke disregards CCTV rumor. Adedo's lawyer urges public. Don't honor DSS invitation. They want to silence you. So Kaku warns Bishop Hooker. We will make Plateau hot for kidnappers. Ritualist orders, says Lalon. Father-daughter arrested with fresh human remains in Ondo. Save us from bandits, Ibeju. Lekki residents cry out. NLC mobilizes for protests against hike in petrol price. And to foreign, UK government advisors recommend against fourth vaccine dose. And finally, sport. Eagles have eye on Afcon title in Wakaki. You can link up on our YouTube channel, Babagide Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Click on the option all for updates. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. It is necessary for you to get updated with our updates. As well on the Instagram, Bagede Imo_22. For other placements of your goods and services and product, coverage of event and function, the phone number streaming on your screen is the number to call. Do not hesitate. I am yours faithfully, Morire Rebila Lawal. Good evening.